Hello and welcome to the 2021 Outstanding Staff Awards ceremony. My name is Dennis McIver, and it is my honor to have served as president of UC Riverside Staff Assembly over this past year. Typically, we would have the ceremony in person at the Chancellor's residence, but in the interest of safety and given the importance of the recognition, we decided to continue with this ceremony in an online format similar to last year's. COVID has not diminished the amazing contributions of staff, and so we opted to continue to celebrate those accomplishments. We're very grateful to have you here with us, our honorees, their colleagues, friends, and family, as well as senior leadership. Everyone is joined in our passion and appreciation for the people and mission of the great university that is UCR. Thank you so much for sharing in this moment with us. In a few moments, we will recognize some of UCR's finest staff members who have been nominated by their colleagues for excellence in their work, for their commitment to the university's mission of higher education, teaching, and public service, and for making UC Riverside and their communities a better place for everyone. To the nominees and award recipients and all of our staff joining us in this evening, you're commended for your efforts and accomplishments. This year has proven difficult for many reasons, but once again, we have remained steadfast in our resiliency to succeed. The results of your work on this campus is a benefit to all of us here, as well as the people of the great state of California. We will present awards in 7 different categories. These are Staff Who Make a Difference, Tartan Soul, Commitment to Diversity, People Helping People, Volunteer of the Year, as well as 2 new awards, the Outstanding Retiree Award, which is chosen by the UCR Retiree Association, and the Student Choice Award, which consists of nominations from UCR's undergraduate and graduate student population. We will be recognizing all of these individuals this evening. The 2021-2022 academic year has undoubtedly challenged our community and campus in profound ways. However, our staff rose to the occasion at every opportunity. Although we cannot honor each person deserving recognition, there's no doubt that collectively staff helped UCR to not only survive, but to thrive during this year. To reflect on the contributions of staff on our vibrant campus, please join me in welcoming a steadfast advocate for staff, Chancellor Kim Wilcox.
It's great to be at another annual Staff Assembly Award ceremony. I wish we didn't have to be virtual, and hopefully this will be the last time we have to do that this way. But the sentiment, the congratulations are just as real whether they're virtual or in person. You know, every professional sports team that I know of at the end of the year identifies a most valuable player. And everybody's happy to see him or her receive the award, and they know what they did for the team. But it seems to me there's a difference between being the most valuable player on the worst team in the league and the most valuable player on the best team in the league. And this year, I feel even more certain that every one of these award winners is an award winner on the best team in the league. Just think of what we have done collectively this past year. The whole world shut down, but we went on. We taught classes, we did our research, we maintained the campus. All the things that are crucial to our university persisted, despite the challenges. So everybody here is on the best team in the league, and it's an honor to be part of the effort to recognize so many, but not all, but so many of the most valuable players. Congratulations to the winners, but more importantly, thank you to everybody for what you have collectively done for our university these past many months.
Thank you, Chancellor Wilcox. Before beginning the presentations, I would like to acknowledge the efforts of the Staff Recognition Committee. These volunteers reviewed and voted on a total of 55 nominations across all categories. They are Arvin Varma, Chanel Parrish, Christine Burgett, Genevieve Long, Jonathan Lozano, Kristen Roberts, Linda Aguilera, Myra Mercado, Makbule Koskal, Monica Cruz, Nadine Okens, Ross French, Tamara Johnson, Trapper McLean, and Wendy Alvarez. Please join me in giving them a round of applause. Once again, we are using this celebration as an opportunity to honor all of our nominees and award recipients. In each category, we provided our nominees with the text from their nominations and the winning recipient with a lovely award. I've asked a few of my colleagues to help me with presenting these awards. We will begin with the Staff Who Makes a Difference Award, which is broken up into categories of administrative, professional, service, and technical. Now, I'd like to ask our Director of Involvement and Recognition, Bree Morales, to start us off with the first award.
Thanks, Dennis. Let's begin with the Staff Who Make a Difference Administrative category. The recipient of the Staff Who Make a Difference Administrative Award is Jonathan Godoy, Budget, Personnel, and Program Assistant of the Well and Basic Needs. Jonathan goes above and beyond his job responsibilities consistently in order to help UCR students maintain their well-being, safety, and food secure status. He was an instrumental part of moving the Wells and our pantry's operations to a hybrid model when campus closed so that we could continue to provide food and wellness items to students in need. He is a welcoming, friendly face in the Well, Basic Needs, and anytime you see him on campus. The Well and the UCR campus community are lucky to have Jonathan Godoy. Jonathan developed and implemented an innovative no-contact lockbox pickup process to get emergency grocery cards into the hands of students in need without any in-person contact, especially critical during COVID. Jonathan was instrumental in moving the Wells Our Pantry procedures to a remote environment this period, where remote procedures didn't exist. For our type of work, he was crucial in helping to develop them, including receiving exceptional approval to begin offering e-gift cards for groceries to students. He models cooperation, teamwork, and a strong sense of team spirit and positivity within our department. Jonathan strives to go beyond his direct responsibilities to achieve department goals and to ensure that our programs and services are meeting students' well-being and food security needs. Jonathan excels in encouraging and modeling cooperation among our staff and always makes time to celebrate and acknowledge the successes and accomplishments of both our pro and student staff whenever possible. This year, Jonathan was critical to keeping our pantry and grocery support operations up and running, even though this type of service falls outside of his scope of work. Congratulations, Jonathan. And now let's turn to our Director of Professional Development, Agam Patel, for our next award.
Thanks, Bree. Next up is the Staff Who Make a Difference Professional Award. Our recipient of the Staff Who Make a Difference Professional Award is Alton Carswell, Case Manager of Student Affairs. Alton is a licensed psychotherapist with experience in working with a variety of populations such as children, couples, inmates, and diverse students of various backgrounds. His experience working with the incarcerated population has brought a new understanding and skill set for our team. The Case Management Office benefits from Alton's interests and skills in technology and psychology, especially this past year. He was the lead in the development and production of our department's videos. Alton's background and skill set allowed him to take each member's video clips and combine them to his, adding music, and with multiple edits later, he created an amazing department video to share with other campus partners. He made a department video for the Student Life Tabling event, as well as School of Medicine, and one for our department for the fall quarter. He possesses and applies functional or technical knowledge to the job at a high level of accomplishment. Alton was extremely helpful in shifting to remote working and provided a number of suggestions and experimented with ways to connect with our students effectively. He contributed to establishing new procedures and policies so he could meet the needs of his students. He did this by creating a Google Voice phone number so he could call or text the faculty, staff, and students quickly and effectively. Alton's strength is his dedication, determination, and drive to be successful and competent at his job. He is also creative, thoughtful, and collaborative about finding new programs to bring to campus to better support our students. Alton helps campus partners with distressed students by assisting them with the appropriate resources, educating them on how to talk to students about suicide, and by following up to see if it can be of more assistance. Alton's interactions with the team are sincere and engaging, and he is well integrated into the team. He is responsive to departmental needs by volunteering whenever a co-presenter is needed or by engaging with students in an ethnic program or event. Alton frequently models cooperation, teamwork, and a strong sense of team spirit and morale. Alton consistently serves as a role model for respectful and inclusive behavior. Wherever applicable to the job environment, he is frequently sought out as a resource by others when delicate matters arise to ensure fair and equitable treatment for all. This was evident when he was asked to participate in the Chancellor's Safety Task Force and the Black Student Experience Work Group. Alton consistently models behavior and approaches to work that demonstrate equitable and respectful treatment of each other. He understands and respects differences and treats all others as others would want to be treated. Alton is the point person for the following ethnic and gender programs: African student programs, Asian Pacific student programs, LGBT Center, Middle Eastern Student Center, and the Native American student programs. He consistently checks with the directors to see what support he can provide to them and their communities. Alton consistently welcomes opportunities to become more skilled and knowledgeable regarding diversity on the campus and encourages others to do the same, most recently participating in the Student Disability Ally Training, and even following up on the recommended Netflix documentary to gather more awareness on these issues. Congratulations, Alton. And now I'd like to ask the Director of Outreach, Kathy Van Horn, to introduce our next award.
Thanks, Agam. Next is the Staff Who Make a Difference Service Award. Our recipient of the Staff Who Makes a Difference Service Award is Justin Kuo, Senior Graphic Artist of Auxiliary Design Services and Campus Business Services. For more than a decade, Justin has helped shape the visual language of the UCR campus through his near ubiquitous design work for housing and dining services. In this past year, Justin was asked to instantly switch his focus from print design to video production, which requires a very different set of skills. Justin not only pulled it off, his work for housing, dining, auxiliary services, and the School of Business, among others, was crucial in dealing with the COVID shutdown and university recruitment at a time when on-campus visits were all but impossible. When faced with calls to create videos, Justin could have easily thrown up his hands to say, "I don't do video, it's not in my job description." He didn't do that. He rolled up his sleeves and developed a polished set of skills that make it appear he's been doing this sort of work for a decade rather than just a year and a half. Justin has long taken a leadership role in his department, yet another function not in his job description. He took it upon himself to mentor student employees back before COVID when they had student employees, and he's long worked as a go-between and a calming influence when the department's rigid deadline pressures would cause tempers to briefly flare. A UCR alumnus, Justin is our department's best ambassador, as he's known and respected by everyone from line cooks and delivery drivers to assistant vice chancellors. Congratulations, Justin. And now, let's turn to Vice President Jeff Gerode to introduce the next award.
Thanks, Kathy. Finally, we have the Staff Who Make a Difference Technical Award. Our recipient of the Staff Who Make a Difference Technical Award is Richard Rodriguez, Service Management Analyst for ITS Service Management. Richard consistently displays a positive impact on the campus community and ITS. He is always thinking of ways to improve the user experience when reporting technical issues, requesting new information, technology services, or browsing for help when using the Service Link portal and navigating on the back end for our ITS users. Richard participated in the project as the business analyst and led the development efforts for the Loan to Learn project, The Learn to Learn project was initiated to move all instructions online in 2020. However, many students lack the resources needed to be able to adapt to this mode of learning. As a strong advocate for students, Richard was the business analyst and worked closely with the developers to create and launch the UCR Learn to Learn program in less than 3 weeks. Again, as a strong advocate for students, Richard was the business analyst who worked closely with the developers to translate the business requirements into technical functional requirements, created workflow process diagrams, addressed technical concerns, and identified solutions for the developers. As a result of the self-service software catalog deployment, UCR students are now empowered to access and download software entitlements using a 24/7 self-service platform. Richard is quick to identify technical issues and proactively takes a systematic approach to solving problems. He frequently shows initiative by independently obtaining necessary information to resolve challenges that may arise when working on new requests and projects. Richard demonstrates creativity and innovation in his approach to finding the best solutions and new technologies for our campus partners. Richard displays outstanding teamwork and leadership skills. He consistently leads the team in creating collaborative partnerships with others and builds highly effective and productive working relationships with his peers, leadership, and internal customers. Richard demonstrates a positive attitude and shows respect to all members of the organization. He actively listens to others, engages in conversation, and seeks to ensure that he understands others' perspectives. He encourages others to participate and express their ideas and viewpoints when troubleshooting issues and identifying the best solutions for ServiceNow functionality. Congratulations, Richard. And now I'd like to ask our Director of Communications, Dr. Loretta Vanderveer, to introduce the next award.
Thanks, Jeff. Next, we have the TARTAN Soul Award. This award recognizes staff who are committed to the 4 pillars of TARTAN Soul. Nominees are judged on their commitment to integrity, respect, accountability, and excellence. The recipient of this year's TARTAN Soul Award is Jennifer Lopez, Case Manager of Student Affairs Case Management. Jennifer is very collaborative and a valued team member. She interacts with her team and coworkers very easily by being honest, personable, warm, and helpful. Jennifer frequently initiates and maintains collaborative partnerships with other campus departments in order to build relationships and better help her students. Jennifer frequently models cooperation, teamwork, and a strong sense of team spirit and morale. Jennifer works closely with her ethnic and gender directors, the WELL, Res Life, Basic Needs, and CAPS. She proactively takes the initiative to collaborate with others and often assist others in the completion of their tasks to support team goals. Jennifer is responsive to requests, and her work reflects persistent follow-up, accuracy, and follow-through. When Jennifer is given an assignment, she completes it as requested, accurately, and on time. Jennifer is frequently quick to identify problems and take actions before they become critical, considering the impact and consequences of various possible resolutions, and she proactively communicates with staff. Jennifer has expertise in assessment, is highly skilled in gathering information, so she helps students problem solve, creates a plan of action, and find appropriate resources to improve student success. Jennifer frequently encourages and models group cooperation, pride, and trust. She often celebrates team successes and the contribution of others by adding marbles to our trust jar and sharing examples of a team member's contribution or successes. Jennifer frequently serves as a role model for respectful and inclusive behavior. She works closely with UCR's ethnic and gender offices by providing support to the directors whenever they have students of concern or by participating in a specific center's program or events. Jennifer is a specific point person for Chicano Student Program, Undergraduate Scholars Initiative, Undocumented Student Program, Veterans, and the Women's Resource Center. Jennifer regularly behaves in a manner that that enables growth of a culture of respect and civility among diverse team members. Jennifer asks for clarity when needed. She provides support and empathy with her peers and checks for understanding at campus and staff partner meetings. Jennifer actively engages others to ensure all views are expressed. She's flexible and adaptable in response to others' needs. Jennifer does this effectively in ECRT meetings when there are differing views on how to help a student. She will speak up and share her opinion while also listening intently to what others have to say. Congratulations, Jennifer. And now let's turn to Director of Administration and Chair of UCR's Black Faculty and Staff Association, Chanel Parrish, for the next award.
Thanks, Loretta. The Commitment to Diversity Award assesses the qualification of each nominee based on the following criteria: valuing diversity and promoting cultural competency in individual, unit, division, and department activities, managing the dynamics of difference by using effective strategies to resolve conflict among people whose cultural backgrounds and values are different, assessing one's culture by recognizing how culture, including that of an organization, has an effect on others, adapting to diversity by making paradigm shifts and behavioral changes to demonstrate cross-cultural recognition, institutionalizing diversity by incorporating cultural competency into the organization and by integrating knowledge and skills that enable effective cross-cultural interactions. The recipient of the Commitment to Diversity Award is Kimberly Kampen, a career college specialist for humanities, arts, education, and public policy of the Career Center. Kimberly Kampen is a champion in the retention and post-graduation success of UCR's diverse student population. She not only values diversity, but promotes cultural competency within her field by addressing and raising awareness about issues of equity, diversity, and inclusion, both across campus and employer relations. Kimberly is constantly seeking to serve the diverse student population at UCR. For example, she created web pages for the Career Center's website with specific career development resources for Asian Pacific students, Black and African American students, differently abled students, formerly incarcerated students, LGBTQ students, foster youth, international students, Latinx students, Middle Eastern students, Native American students, student veterans, and undocumented students. Kimberly is continuously seeking new knowledge and skills to provide career counseling to our diverse student population by attending various professional training sessions. For example, to improve her skills in supporting undocumented students, she participated in various training from Immigrant Rising and the California Career Development Association. Additionally, she continuously delivers information and training to her peers on resources and best practices to support undocumented students. This year, Kimberly presented Career Pathways Without Borders, supporting undocumented students with or without DACA at the California Career Development Association virtual conference. This workshop provided other career counseling practitioners information on the best practices for supporting undocumented students' retention and career development. Additionally, despite the challenges COVID brought students this past year, Kimberly coached various undocumented students through their career development. This resulted in various student achievements, such as receiving the Mellon May Fellowship, Teach for America job offer, scholarships, undergraduate research positions, and on-campus employment, and graduate school acceptances. Kimberly is expanding UCR's reach at the local and national level by assisting our diverse student population in their career journey. Congratulations, Kimberly. It is now my pleasure to introduce this past year's Director of Involvement and Recognition, Brianna Morales, who will announce our next award.
Thanks, Chanel. The People Helping People Award recognizes staff who exemplify service to the surrounding community. This year's nominations serve to remind us that helping others comes in many forms, and the impact of these expressions of the heart affect the lives of others in so many special and memorable ways. The recipient of this year's People Helping People Award is Estela Acuña, Director of Chicano Student Programs. Estela Acuña is an example of dedication, expertise, and mission of the University of California, Riverside. At the core of our charge as staff and scholars is to transform the lives of the diverse people of California. As a result of Estela's lifelong commitment to service through transformational resistance and resilience the region, county, and state have been enriched. She has been a member of the Highlander Familia for 25 years, starting as a student assistant in the Office of Chicano Student Programs to becoming its director, a department with a legacy of student and community success. The Inland Empire Latino Lawyers Association, also known as IELLA, is a nonprofit legal service provider. For over 30 years, IELLA has provided free legal services for low-income and underprivileged Inland Empire residents. The legal assistance provided by volunteer staff attorneys is open to Riverside and San Bernardino counties, ensuring that the community's rights are protected and they have equal access to the justice system. Estela has served as a board member for over 10 years, coordinating expungement clinics in the community, creating internship opportunities for UCR and local college students, establishing career panels and mentorship events, and supporting the fundraising efforts of IELLA to continue its incredible work. In 2018, IELLA and the board members were recognized as the California Nonprofit of the Year by Assembly District 61, presented by Assembly member Jose Medina. As an alumni and director of Chicano Student Programs, Estela was a founding member and board member of the UCR Chicano Latino Alumni Association, serving in this role since the association's reestablishment. Most recently, Estela has co-led the Building Conexión, also known as Building Connections program, in partnership with the CLA and Raza Assembly Student Organization, establishing a community mentorship series focused on career pathways, professional development, networking, and post-graduation support. The quarterly series was held virtually during the pandemic this year and concluded with a weekend retreat that was attended by over 100 students this past April. Estela has volunteered as a DJ for Radio Aztlán for several years, beginning as a student intern. Estela leads the annual Radio Aztlán Music Festival, which has an impressive 20-year history, providing a music concert held on campus that is accessible to the community and features Chicano Latino artists. Unidos, also known as United, is a collaboration of individuals and organizations dedicated to realizing the establishment of the Cheech Marin Center for Chicano Art, Culture, and Industry. Estela has served as a founding member of the community organization since it was established in 2017. In her role, she has supported the vast community fundraising efforts, which has raised over $250,000 in over 3 years. As mentioned previously, these are but a few examples of her tremendous contribution to transforming the lives of our diverse region. What is most admirable is that she leads with her corazón, her heart, and does not do this work or service for recognition. She is humble and selfless in that she does something community leaders and students alike can attest to. In 2018, she was recognized as Woman of the Year by Senator Richard Roth for her community and campus contributions. Similarly, in 2016, Estela was honored by Assembly member Jose Medina as the 61st Assembly District Women of Distinction Luncheon for her service to the 61st District. She has changed the lives of many students, staff, alumni, and community, even in the most difficult times, such as this year. She is the epitome of people helping people, a lifelong commitment that will undoubtedly continue to have an impact for generations to come. Congratulations, Estela. And now let's turn to past president Aaron Bouchon for the next award.
Thank you, Bree. Staff members are nominated for the Volunteer of the Year Award by other volunteers and by Staff Assembly Executive Board members. The Staff Assembly Executive Board then reviews all nominees and selects the recipient. The Volunteer of the Year Award recognizes the outstanding work of a single staff staff assembly volunteer. Although dozens of staff members contributed to the success of staff assembly events and programs this past year, there is one volunteer who was most deserving of this recognition. As a former recipient of the award, it is my honor to present the 2020-2021 Volunteer of the Year Award to Ross French, the Digital Communications Manager in the School of Medicine. I have had the privilege of knowing Ross since he arrived on campus. However, for many years, I only knew Ross for what I perceived to be his towering height and his booming voice. It was when he first became involved with staff assembly several years ago that I realized that Ross's towering height translates into a towering presence in support of staff members campus-wide, and that his booming voice amplifies the message of advocacy on behalf of all UCR staff members. As a past president of Staff Assembly, Ross's obligation to the Staff Assembly Executive Board ended at the conclusion of the 2019-2020 academic year. However, as a result of his commitment to the well-being of UCR staff members, Ross immediately immersed himself in the role of a dedicated volunteer. In his role as volunteer this past year, Ross provided valuable input for how Staff Assembly could adapt to our remote working environment. As a skilled communicator and content manager, Ross did not hesitate to lend his talents and expertise to the Staff Assembly Executive Board as it necessarily hosted webinars, virtual town halls, and monthly Get Recognized ceremonies via Zoom. In fact, the video you are watching right now is the result of Ross's talents and creativity. Ross has also embraced the advocacy work pursued by Staff Assembly this past year and has offered his expertise for how to carefully and persuasively craft thoughtful messages to senior leaders on campus and throughout the UC system, including drafting his own impactful letter to the regions in support of sentiments expressed by the Staff Assembly Executive Board during the public comment period at a recent Regents meeting. As a fellow past president of Staff Assembly from the 2002-2003 academic year, I recognize the importance of continuing to work for the benefit of staff members, even after one's term as president has ended. Ross French embodies the qualities of engagement, dedication, and contribution. And on behalf of Staff Assembly, I am proud to present him with this award. Congratulations, Ross. Bree?
Thanks, Aaron. Our next award is the Outstanding Retiree Award. To present this award, we have the Director of the UCR Retirement Center, Christina Otegi.
Thank you, Bree. The Outstanding Retiree Award is awarded in conjunction with the UCR Retirees Association. The award recognizes a UCR retiree who has had an outstanding record of service to UCR. In this moment of celebration, we would like to pay tribute to Mary Johnson for her distinguished service to UCR staff and retirees. A past president of Staff Assembly and the UCR Retirees Association, Mary's tireless efforts has proven beneficial to countless members of our community. With this in mind, we are honored to name this distinction the Mary Johnson Outstanding Retiree Award. The inaugural winner of the Mary Johnson Outstanding Retiree Award is Mitch Boretz, Technical Communications Specialist, formerly at the Boretz College of Engineering. Mitch Boretz's career at UCR needs no description. You can literally ask any faculty member who ever worked in BCOE and even other colleges about the role of Mitch Boretz played in their careers, and you will get 3 to 5 minutes long speeches of how instrumental Mitch was in the making our careers succeed. He worked with every single one of us in the extremely complex endeavor of preparing successful proposals. It was not only his keen insight for the proper technical writing and assertive way to express an idea, but all the other supplementary work that went along with preparing a complex document with multiple pieces properly integrated and coherent. All that management and integration work was also part of his toolkit. There is truly no other staff member in BCOE who has had more positive impact in the careers of all BCOE faculty than Mitch Boretz. If we have 134 faculty or so in BCOE now, it is no exaggeration to say you will get 134 recommendation letters if you asked. And you could add to those many more from retired faculty and those from supervisors past and present. There is nobody more deserving of such an award than Mitch Boretz. Congratulations, Mitch. And now back to Bree.
Thank you, Christina. Now to present the new Student Choice Award, our own graduate from this year, Dr. Loretta Vandeveer.
Thank you very much, Bree. The Student Choice Award nominations came from individual undergraduate and graduate students at UCR and recognizes an outstanding staff member who has made significant contributions to the lives of students at UCR. Our inaugural winner is Dr. Laura McGeehan, Graduate Student Services Advisor for Plant Biology, Plant Pathology, and Microbiology of the Department of Botany and Plant Sciences. Laura received more than a half dozen individual nominations for this honor. Laura has been an incredible student services advisor. She has gone above and beyond her job description to help every student feel welcomed, understood, and comfortable. As a graduate student, funding can be extremely confusing. Laura has personally sat down with students multiple times to make sure they understood how they were being paid. An expert who makes recruitment processes run very smooth, Laura coordinated between many busy schedules to make sure every professor and potential student get their chance to meet. Laura's work for DEI efforts in the department also need to be highlighted. She has served as an inaugural member of the DEI BPSC committee for this year and dedicated her time to a survey of the department to better understand what changes need to be made to make the department more equitable and inclusive for everyone. She was also involved in developing CUSC, career mentoring of URM STEM students for the professoriate, a great program. Laura has been such an important part of the graduate student experience for our department. She is extremely kind and welcoming. Because of her, students are less stressed and have more knowledge and agency over their education. Congratulations, Laura. And now I'd like to introduce Crystal Petrini, immediate past president of Staff Assembly and chair-elect of the Council of UC Staff Assemblies.
Thanks, Loretta. As mentioned during the May 19th general meeting, 2 members of the UCR community were honored by the Council of UC Staff Assemblies, or CUCSA, and we'd like to take a moment to recognize them here. The first recipient, Shauna Nunez, received the Kevin McCauley Memorial Outstanding Staff Award. Shauna marks UCR's 3rd recipient of this honor in the last 4 years. A senior trainer with UCR's Employee and Organizational Development Team, Shauna is the program manager of the UC Management Skills Assessment and UCR Building Core Supervisory Competencies programs. She's also been an active volunteer with Staff Assembly, where she's held leadership positions over the last few years. And the second recipient is Chancellor Kim Wilcox, who received the CUCSA Outstanding Senior Leadership Award. Chancellor Wilcox was recognized for his consistent efforts to include and celebrate staff both in and outside of UCR. Congratulations to you both. Now, to recognize this year's Staff Assembly Board, we have Staff Assembly President Dennis McGeehan.
Thank you, Crystal, and another round of applause for all of our amazing staff members. As many of you may know, tonight is the final event for the 2020-2021 Staff Assembly Executive Board, and it has been our tradition to recognize and thank the board members for their service. And so I'd like to begin with two board members who will not be returning for the next year. The first of which would be our Director of Fundraising, Marianne Gochikoa, who has served 2 years on the Staff Assembly Executive Board. Marianne, I think, had a particularly difficult position. Fundraising is always a challenge for staff assembly when it comes to getting the message out there and really effectively doing so. And I think Marianne did a tremendous job when it came to continuing some of the new traditions that were established during her tenure on the board. The virtual 5K was something that she took a very prominent role in when it came to making sure that we didn't lose sight of working with the folks who supported it. She was always willing to bring really unique ideas and engage with people when it came to trying to get the message of staff assembly out there. But I think the thing that stands out to me the most about Marianne was that she constantly demonstrated the importance of grace and understanding. And throughout the year, she was someone who really kind of gave that steady and calming presence to the board and really taught us a lot about trying to show understanding in really unique circumstances. So I really did enjoy having a chance to work with her and help to build out some things with fundraising. So I would just say that thank you very much to Marianne for 2 years of exceptional service, and we will certainly miss all of the work that you've done on the board. So thank you very much, Marianne. The next person we'll be recognizing is our Director of Administration, George Rielas. And this was his first year on the board. George, I was consistently impressed with because the role of Director of Administration really is one of those positions where it could be whatever you want it to be. But from day one, George took a very active and engaged approach when it came to his functions. He was never one that was afraid of joining other folks and supporting wherever he could, whether it fell into the space of involvement in recognition or professional development. If there was a place where George could give his assistance, he consistently did it and never asked questions about it. He also reminded us the importance of knowing when to smile and also recognizing the power that we had in making the experience for staff better. And he always gave us really good advice and was always willing to step in, especially in this remote space. He's probably the campus expert when it comes to matters of Zoom and webinars. And he was always more than happy to step in and give his guidance. And George was really one of the main reasons why we were able to do things very effectively with general meetings, because he was willing to do extra hours, work into the night or work over weekends to make sure everything ran really well. And so I really would just say I appreciated him for everything he brought to the table and all of the things that he gave. He did, of course, have to step down a bit towards the end of his term, but it doesn't change all the great things that he did for this year. So George, thank you very much for everything you did. I look forward to continuing to work with you in other spaces, and just know that you're really appreciated. So from here, we'll go over to Chanel Parrish, who took over for George towards the end of the term. I've actually known Chanel for quite a while because of just being working on campus, but then also having a chance to work through BFASA. And over the past year, Chanel had a lot of different things on her plate, but she was willing to take this on in addition to all of that, while, by the way, finishing graduate school. And the entire time that she was there, she constantly brought her light and her energy and was always willing to walk into things with a smile and with a willingness to step in whenever it was called for. And I think she's definitely shown that she has so many unique talents that I think will serve the board well. So I'm looking forward to seeing her moving to her first official full term in the Director of Administration role. I think that her addition to this board will only make things that much stronger. So Chanel, thank you for stepping up to the plate and stepping in and providing this support, and for lending all of your talents to staff assembly. I think we're going to be that much stronger because of your contribution. So thank you. And the next few members that we'll be speaking with will be returning for the future year. And so we're going to go ahead and acknowledge all of them, starting with our co-directors of events. beginning with Val Battelle. For Val, this was her second year on the board, and she was willing to come back. And this is a particularly difficult space to operate in when it comes to doing campus programming. It becomes that much harder when it's online because a lot of the tools that you normally have, a lot of the resources are practically diminished. But that didn't change the fact that Val was consistently willing to go above and beyond in helping to get things done, whether it was doing our Candygram campaign over the course of this year, reimagining how we did things for our holiday party and turning it into a complete week, or just stepping in to support any other things we were doing, whether it was our bingo fundraiser or other events. Val is someone who says, whatever you're doing, how can I help? And I always appreciated that she was willing to find new ways to build on her role. And she did that really effectively throughout the year. This year, of course, with the return to campus, I will get a chance to reclaim her title as the best programmer on campus. And I'm really excited to see her do that. So Val, thank you for continuing to be on this ride with us. Thank you for a terrific year. Our other co-director of events was Ashley Demschke, and she had her first year on the board. And Val and Ashley were just this really strong, really great synergistic team where they complemented each other so well. And Ashley has so many unique ideas and perspectives, but beyond that, she's always willing to step in and do the work. And she has a very gentle guiding presence when it comes to things. I always said that with Ashley, when she does things, it is something where it may be okay, but when she steps in and adds her few insights, it makes it perfect. She has this really strong ability to add a lot of flair to everything that gets done. And she's also just a tremendous team player. And with everything that we were able to do over the years, she was always willing to step into the task and give support. So I really did appreciate everything that she contributed to this year. I think that she's poised to continue to do amazing things, and I'm really delighted that we'll have a chance to see her do that through staff assembly. So thank you very much, Ashley. It's really been a pleasure. Our next person being recognized would be our Director of Professional Development, Agam Patel. I've actually known Agam for a couple of years now, but this was a year that I really had a chance to see who he is and what he does. And Agam is another exceptional programmer. And Agam is someone that when you can give him a basic idea, he'll find a way to really make it his own and do it in a way that's truly impactful. The lunch and learn concept was one that we had started a little bit with. And when Agam stepped into the role, one of the things we asked him to do was make it a full, proper year-long program. And he did it. Every month he had new ideas. He set up everything perfectly. He was known to rock that nice suit. And he is someone who can always build on really basic ideas and turn it into something special. Beyond that, he was always willing to step in and do unique and new things. And he was one of our biggest supporters when it came to the staff conference, which was a huge success. And beyond that, he's just a really funny and down-to-earth person. So I really appreciate having a chance to see everything that he's done. I'm very excited to see that he's moving over into the presidential track. I think he'll be an amazing vice president. And at this point, I would just say thank you very much, Agam. I've really appreciated having a chance to collaborate with you. And our next person would be our Director of Communications, Dr. Loretta Vanderveer. And Loretta's another example of someone who saw really unique challenges this year. I think the complete board did, but communications is particularly a challenging space because it's one where everyone's work flows through you. And the success of it ultimately is driven by how much you can get the message out. But even with all that in mind, Loretta really stepped up to the plate and found new and unique ways to get the message out there. She really built out our monthly newsletter. She set up a really thoughtful social media plan. She created all sorts of great marketing materials. She didn't limit it to staff assembly. If you were asked, she was asked to provide support for even other organizations, she would step in and do it. And so I think that our successes this year were very much driven by the fact that she had a really thoughtful and well drawn out plan. And beyond that, she also has been a really good inspiration because she was doing all of this while she was finishing her doctorate and managed to knock it all out. So Loretta, I would just say thank you very much for all of your tremendous work. I'm very excited to see you transition over into the space of professional development, and I think you're going to be really successful there as well. So thank you very much for your service. Our next person to be recognized will be Bree Morales, who served as our Director of Involvement and Recognition. And this was another year where the involvement and recognition we did took on a new form, but Bree was someone who was able to step in and really think about how can we make this a truly expansive and enjoyable experience. And she took a model that was previously, I think, done a little bit more with an eye towards secrecy and a little bit more intimate, and made it a campus level celebration that everyone can come to recognize folks doing outstanding work. And one of the jokes that I made with her was that you are our chief morale officer for campus. And I think she not only claimed that role, but really showed what you can do with it. And I think get recognized as one of our amazing gems that came out of this year. And Bree is to thank for that. Beyond that, she also provided a lot of behind the scenes support just with operations for staff assembly. But again, she's always willing to learn. And over time, I think she gained the confidence to really make things revolving around recognition, whether it was this Outstanding Staff Awards, or even Unsung, which started this year. She was the person who was able to step in and really make it a successful thing. So congratulations, Bree. Thank you for your work this year. I look forward to seeing how you build on it over your second term as Director of Involvement and Recognition, but very well done. Our next person to be recognized would be Kathy Van Horn, who serves as our Director of Outreach. And for those who don't know, Kathy and I have served on the board for the same amount of time, and we actually were co-directors together when we first started. And as we were transitioning into this year, one of the things I was most concerned about was the prospect of having returners there. And Kathy graciously was someone who's willing to return in this unique environment we're in. And I think she's done very tremendous work with outreach and really reimagined the way that we do it. She took a really prominent role in rebuilding our ambassadors program. She also rethought how we did outreach and started reaching out to more of our affinity groups on campus. But the thing I think I've been most impressed with Kathy this year is that she has done tremendous work in the space of trying to really improve the diversity and equity and inclusion efforts that we make. Everything from working on statements in response to things happening globally, creating panels and forums revolving around it. And so I think she really took outreach into an important and frankly necessary direction. Beyond that, she really did a great job of serving as our compass as an organization. She was one who always challenged us to think bigger and to really be thoughtful in our approach. And any team that is able to do excellent things has folks like that that are willing to really help you fully think about the implications of every decision you make. And Kathy was that for us. We're very lucky that Kathy is going to return for another year. I think that we're so much stronger because of her. And so I would just say, Kathy, as a board member and as a friend, thank you for everything that you've done. It's just been such a pleasure to see you grow it. And I look forward to seeing what you do over this next year as well. Up next would be our Director of Finance, Penny Abina. And Penny has been on the board for a very long time. She's actually concluded her 6th year on the board. And Penny has been one of the real cornerstones of staff assembly. When it comes to everything we do, so much of it flows through the space of communications, but also through the space of finance. And I think that Penny has just done a tremendous job, especially in this unique environment we've been in, to make sure that we are in compliance with everything we need to do related to transactions. And so that was an important piece. But the really special thing that I think she did this year was taking her passion and her talent when it came to doing bingo and making it into this thing that started on a campus level, but now is a statewide thing that we do every month. And so every month, 2 times during a day, we have folks all across the UC who assemble to play bingo. And that was all on the shoulders of Penny. And so she made it super special. She made it something that's engaging and fun. And it's all because she was willing to give of herself. And I think it's going to end up being a really important mainstay of campus as we transition back. And so I think we're very lucky to have Penny. And I look forward to seeing what she does over this next year in the role of our bingo baroness. But Penny, thank you for everything. It's been such a pleasure to do all of these things with you. And I'm excited to see you continue to flourish in this role. So thank you. Next person we'll be recognizing is our Vice President, President-elect, Jeff Giroux. And Jeff is someone that is, on first glance, if you see Jeff, sometimes you can be a little bit intimidated. He can, based off of the appearance, he may seem as if, oh, well, who is this guy? I don't know about him, but beyond it all, and Jeff is a great guy. And he's thoughtful and he has a heart of gold, and he's so intent on making the staff experience better that he's willing to put the work in, and he's willing to really push the organization to do all sorts of things. And Jeff was that for me. He encouraged us to do stuff to try to create more connections between people. A few of the ideas we had this year, including the candy grams, that was Jeff's. And it was because Jeff saw the value of keeping relationships strong and continuing to build that connectivity between staff members, even when we were remote. Jeff was someone else who also drew from his talents in order to create more experiences for us, and he created Pictionary. And I think that became a really cool way to not only interact with each other, but also to interact with senior management. Beyond all of that, Jeff had the heart to know when we needed to take a breath and step back. And he was that constant guide of, let's not necessarily do this, let's take a breather. And that was really critical, because I think at certain times when you're doing that work, you forget to take a moment to take care of yourself. And Jeff gave that steady presence to us. Beyond that, I've had a chance to really get to know Jeff just as a friend. And he's someone that he's just been a sincerely good person, a good guide, a good source of support when we had uncertain moments. And so I would just say that I think that as our now president, the organization is in really strong hands, and Jeff will be a phenomenal president. And I'm looking forward to supporting him, and I hope we all can as well. So Jeff, thank you as your president, but also as your friend. Thank you for everything that you've done for this organization, and also what you've done for me. And congratulations on an epic year to come. So last and certainly not least, I would want to recognize our immediate past president, Crystal, who has been on the board for 4 years and also served as chair-elect of the Council of UC Staff Assemblies this past year. And I think what I would say about Crystal is that a lot of the work that we've done this past year was built on the foundation that she laid for us. And not just with the remote thing, but just on terms of our approach as an organization, whether it was unique programming or doing work related to the advocacy piece. A lot of that started with Crystal's ideas, and we just built on it. And so I would say that she has certainly been our compass when it comes to making sure we know why we're doing this work and seeing the value created in it. And so she constantly gave that level of support to us as a board. She always brought humor to it. She always brought a willingness to go above and beyond to help us. And she's bringing that same energy system-wide to CUCSA. And so I think that not only are we lucky, but I think the system's lucky. The work that we were able to do, even with senior management, came in large part because of the presence that she created as president. And so I want to make sure that we recognize that everything that we did this year really started with the groundwork she laid down. Beyond that, she's been a really strong friend when there are certain moments of confusion or doubt that we had. She was the one who gave us the clarity and understanding of how to navigate it going forward. But she also is someone who's been a friend to all of us. And she's constantly thought of how can we help people when they're going through tough times. And so that was the calming and steady presence that she gave to us. So I would just say, Crystal, thank you. Our success is in very large part because of the work that you laid down. And thank you for everything that you've done, not just for UCR, but for the UC. And thank you for being all of our friends. And it's such a pleasure to have you. And I've really enjoyed everything we've been able to do together. And I look forward to continuing this work with you in the years to come. I also want to take a moment to recognize our past President's Council. We had a number of folks who are doing tremendous work throughout this year, giving us advisory support. Everyone from Aaron to Julie, Veronica, Jenna, and certainly Crystal. We've had a lot of steady support from our past presidents this year, and it's played a really big part in our success. So thank you very much for all of that. We look forward to doing this work with you as well.
I'm so excited for you to finally be ending your presidential year. You have elevated Staff Assembly beyond my wildest dreams and have been just the most excellent president. I mean, I didn't expect anything less from you, but I've still been so proud to see all of the work you've done, all of the connections you've built, and all of the people you've truly uplifted throughout this entire year. You've elevated the name of Staff Assembly and staff all across our campus. And now that you've become chair-elect of CUCSA, I can't wait to see what you do system-wide. Congratulations again on an excellent year full of amazing things, and I can't wait to see what we do next.
Dennis, what can I say? It's been an absolute pleasure. I have enjoyed every second of serving with you during your year as president of UCR Staff Assembly. I am so grateful for all of our conversations, for all the projects and obstacles we overcame together. I have such a great deal of admiration for you, for your passion for staff, for your passion just for life. It's been an absolute honor, and I'm thankful that beyond your year, we've established a bond and a friendship that I hope will continue for as long as we're both at UC Riverside. And all I can say to you is congratulations. You can lay your head on the pillow every night knowing that you fought the good fight. You gave every ounce of energy and strength that you had, and you served with the best of them. And I am so proud of you. Congratulations. Thank you. I could go on, but I know there are other folks who want to say thank you just as much as I do.
Hey, Dennis, it's Bree, or should I say Dens, President Dens. I just want to say how wonderful of a president you are, and Staff Assembly and the UCR campus is so lucky and blessed to have you. With everything that you do it with such authenticity, such care, and it really shows through everything you do and all the relationships that you've built over campus. I just want to say, as far as our friendship, it's been great getting to know you and just really being able to work alongside you. And this friendship means a lot to me. You've been really instrumental in my growth, not only for Staff Assembly, but just as a professional. It's something that I really, really value and will never forget. So I just want to say that you are a great person inside and out, and you just deserve everything in the world. Bye.
Hey, Dennis. I have gotten to work with you now for over 3 years and in different capacities, and I have never met with someone who tries to lead from all of the different angles the way that you do. You know, you have such great compassion, but you also understand how to motivate people. And on top of that, you are such a great inspiration to making sure that we are doing the best we can, to growing in not only in our positions, but in our own jobs and professional development. You have really shown me what a strong leader can look like without having to use firm scare tactics or anything like that. And so I am really pleased to know you as a person. And I've been really just thrilled to have had you as president. And I know that you'll continue to serve as past president. And I look forward to watching you go through your doctoral program. And I know that we'll be coworkers and friends for years to come. And because, you know, I'm not going to let you not be my friend anymore.
Dennis, congratulations on being one of the top 5 humans in this world. You embody everything that a great leader should be. Your patience, gratitude, and kindness shines through every time you speak, and I'm so glad you're in our lives. I want to thank you for your service to the university as well as Staff Assembly, but I also want to personally thank you for all the positive impact you've had in my life. Thank you, and we appreciate you.
Hi, Dennis. I just wanted to say congratulations on a very amazing year as a Staff Assembly President. You were amazing, and I'm happy that I came in under your year. I'm also so happy and thankful that I have you as a friend. You have become a close personal friend of mine and of Francis, and I'm so thankful for you and all of your insight and your kindness and being so warm and welcoming. So if I had to highlight one of the great things that came out of the year 2020, I would say it is having you as my friend. So without dragging this out and trying to make you cry, I just want to say thank you for everything that you've done for not just me, but for everyone, and for giving all of you all that you have to all of us. You are one in a million. Thank you.
Hey, Dennis, I just wanted to say a thank you for being such an awesome leader for Staff Assembly, especially during this crazy, unpredictable year that we've had. Staff Assembly really couldn't have been all that it was this year without everything that you've done. UCR and Staff Assembly is a much better place with you in it, and thank you. It's been awesome.
Dennis, it's Melanie. I just wanted to pop in and say, even though I haven't had a chance to work with you very long, I think you have done an amazing job with Staff Assembly, and I hope you'll be hanging around next year so that we get a chance to work together more. It's been a pleasure and an honor, and I'm grateful to have met you. Take care.
Hey Dennis, just wanted to come on real quick and say thank you so much. Thank you for being my mentor, self-appointed, and my motivator and giver of tough love when I needed it the most. Just want to say thank you so much for being such an amazing colleague and friend. I don't know how you do everything that you do and still have the energy and compassion to bring 1,000% of yourself to every position, job, meeting, everything that you do. And you have such a ready smile and just put so much of yourself into everything that you do that it's very inspiring for me. And I just want to take the time to say thank you for everything that you do and everything that you will do. And I'm very proud of you and very grateful for you, my friend, my mentor, my colleague. Thank you so much, Dennis.
Hi, Dennis. I just wanted to take the time to thank you very much for all that you've done for Staff Assembly and all the other organizations that you're a part of. I really appreciate your determination, your perseverance, your strength, and your courage to take on this role. Personally, I would just like to say thanks for reaching out to me while I was going through a very difficult time last year. Your emails that you sent me just asking how I was doing really meant a lot. So wherever you go and whatever you do, I hope you enjoyed the ride, and good luck to you. Thanks again for being our Staff Assembly President.
As we conclude this evening and the service of the 2020-21 Staff Assembly Executive Board by extension, there are a few people I'd like to thank. First, I would like to again thank Chancellor Wilcox for his remarks, participation, and support of Staff Assembly. I would also like to thank the motivated team of contributors who lent their talents towards this presentation. This marks our second time in this space, and I'm delighted we could build on the foundation laid last year. Specifically, thank you to Aaron Bouchong, Jeff Giroux, Agam Patel, Brianna Morales, Chanel Parrish, Crystal Petrini, Kathy Van Horn, and Dr. Loretta Vanderveer. Thank you very much to the amazing and talented Ross French, who composed this lovely video you're watching right now. Thank you to all of the nominators who gave their precious time to acknowledge the hard work of their peers, supervisors, and team members over the past year. Once again, I want to restate my gratitude for the Recognition Committee for their swift handling of this request. I would also like to thank our friends at the UCR Retiree Association, Associated Students of UCR, and UCR Graduate Student Association for their willingness to help us acknowledge distinguished service to UCR. We look forward to continuing with you in the years ahead. Thank you to our amazing award winners for your service this year. The past year has proved itself to be very unique, and your unparalleled support of UCR has not gone unnoticed. Finally, thank you to each person who took the time today to view and celebrate the contributions of our peers over the past year. It means the world to us that you would recognize and thank our colleagues for all that they've done. Furthermore, thank you for continuing to serve UCR even with the uncertainty that this year has brought. As the third leg of the stool that is the university, your service has not gone unnoticed. As my final act of service to Staff Assembly as President concludes, I thank you for your support and engagement over the past year. It has been my greatest pleasure to be your host and advocate over these past 12 months, and I look forward to seeing Staff Assembly continue to empower and uplift staff in the 2021-2022 year and beyond. Thank you again for watching, and have a safe and wonderful summer.